Hey guys, welcome to here. Today we're covering Fletcher. A very old boat, but it's been buffed a lot, so this is worth taking a look at. Now, aiming systems is a good option here, but you could run AA gun mods. Both are feasible actually. Propulsion, I definitely recommend it. You could go steering, but propulsion is really essential and really good for pretty much everything, including mostly DDs. Concealment, of course, is what I'd 100% recommend, and you definitely want to go for the dakka. You want to go for main battery mod. You don't want to go for torpedo launchers because it's not a torpedo boat, it's a gunboat. Deal with it. Alright. Terms and commanders. Vincent Mordoff, if you have him, is my recommended choice. So if it's Servant Rage, because the reload time of the main battery guns is such a nice thing. Torpedo detectability is nice, and the base trait, again buffing your reload to get proper dakka levels. 1000, look at me now, of course, and Perceptive is just better than Twist and Track if you don't have traverse issues, which we don't. And Sheltered Arms if you have it here, because it basically means you have a very unlikely to get incapacitated torpedoes or main batteries, but they can still be destroyed if you get them to Legendary 4. Pretty high investment, but yeah, that does give you the option. Smoke and Water is what the alternative would be. Eric Bay as an inspiration, and Blue Fuhrer for more speed, because the Fletcher is not very fast. You can also use William Sims as well. That's a very old build, but it does work wonders. William Sims is also a very solid choice. If you don't have Blue Fuhrer, I'd actually recommend William Sims to a less comfortable player. If you feel more comfortable, more confident in Fletcher, I'd probably go for a Blue Fuhrer. More speed, catch up with those enemy DDs faster, but that's just my options there. If you take a look at those skills again real quick, here we go. Let's see. Yeah, use Halsey. Halsey does the exact same stuff, except literally the exact same commander, except the Sheltered Arms. You obviously can swap out the Twist and Track for the Perceptive, and you can use the same build. So this is your free-to-play option here. Exactly the same, except instead of Blue Fuhrer, just go for William Sims. Exactly the same. But with Mordoff, 2.3 second reload. You've got a pretty nasty IHE alpha and a pretty nasty AP alpha as well. You've got some really good smoke for long range smoke. Really long lasting, sorry, not long range, long lasting smoke. Longest lasting smoke in the game, I believe. And you've got some decent torpedoes. Not great, but pretty decent. Pretty low detectability, 1.1. Pretty good speed, 55 for the detectability. And really good range, 9.2. Very solid boat. AA defense, you're actually pretty comfortable. I've seen Fletchers get clear skies. You can do pretty good. Your main guns are dual purpose. It's a very strong ship, and if used correctly, it's an absolute monster of a ship, regardless of what the stats for Wargaming say. Now, this game here, we are in the land of Fuya. We're fighting a Benson Kagura division. There's a Fiji, which is just an absolute DD monster, killing monster, and we've also got a Cleveland as well. And you've got a couple of sonar boats as well. We've got an Odin, which is a pretty nasty DD threat. You've got a Torpus with the secondaries. Torpus has the same secondaries as Bismarck, just not at the same range. So it's actually really dangerous. Plus 6 kilometer torpedoes. No one wants to get torpedoed by a battleship in your destroyer. So it looks like this division of mine behind me are interested in pushing on to the right hand side of this capture point Charlie. So we're going to fire some speculative torps. It's not only just for the Torpus, it's for any DDs that was over there. ADs in the vicinity of the Charlie cap. There's a high chance, our Twist and Track says it could be the Torpus is closest target, or it could be the DD. We don't know who exactly is the closest. It's probably likely to be the Torpus, but we're going to send some torpedoes there anyway. Now, you really want to use your guns in the Fletcher. It's such a good gunboat, but you got to be smart about it. Like, firing right now is a dumb idea. Obviously, the island is obscuring the Torpus, only temporarily though, because it's a small island. Land of Fire is very deceptive for island cover. You think you have island cover, then you fire, and you just don't. So you gotta be extra cautious. The mast of your ship is one of your central detection points, so be aware of that. Capture Point Bravo is being contested. The division destroyer DD play, so there's a high chance they're together. We just smoke up here on the cap, and we're gonna try and get some fires going on the North Carolina and Torpus. Now, despite this, a lucky first fire salvo, because of the fire rate of the Fletcher, the fire chance is pretty anemic. but the amount of damage you can rack up, actually, not just, yeah, firepower, I guess, is pretty insane. We've already fired 40, 50 shots in the time we've actually taken to explain this, and if we had a bit more fires, we could probably switch to AP and do much more damage as well. But you do want to get those fires. Really important to get that fire damage over time. So if we can get it, yeah, if we can get it, great. If we can't, we're still getting good penetration damage on the superstructure. Yeah, we're bouncing half as many, we're shattering half as many as we're hitting, but it's all about putting that fire down and disencouraging them as well. Plus racking up our damage. We're only at 13k already. Kagero and Benson are together as suspected because division play and DDs. You really should spread it more if you're playing division DDs, but that's just my opinion. Again, we've already discussed that too much. I'm not going to go too much into it. So we're expecting him to turn in and push forward a little bit. So we're going to send one set of torps. We're going to keep the other one on the back burner here, just in case he decides to rushes or the turpets or anything like that comes towards us. Now, in Fletcher buffs of earlier, I don't know what it is, of how many of Fletcher buffs is, they improved the shell arcs because Fletcher used to struggle at long range. This was the whole downside to the Americans. Very good close range gunboats, but long range, their shells are so floaty that it's very hard to hit anything at range. And that was one of the balancing factors of Fletcher. That, and it doesn't actually have any sonar. That was one of these balancing factors, but they kind of didn't like that. So they basically have really good shell arcs even at long range. So yeah, something to note. Those torpedoes, by the way, that we sent on the Benson are looking pretty nice. Looking pretty nasty towards the Benson. I mean, right in his smoke screen. Yep, there we go. We'd actually take him out with the first set. Second set was used, but it was just a precaution, I guess. Now, we could open fire here. We'd be spotted by the turpets, I believe, and then the other two battleships could open up on us here. So we gotta be careful about this. Kagero was spotted. I do want to open up on him, and I'm like, I want to get close to the B cap before I do that, so that this battleship fire becomes from the Charlie point is less effective. So we're pretty much safe now, I think. So we're gonna get closer and we're gonna rush this Kagero because he doesn't know we're here. We haven't been spotted this whole game. All he knows is there's been a smoke screen and DD's been shooting out of it. Depending on how close he's looking at the map. He probably could recognize it was a Fletcher, but you never know. Anyway, Kagero gets too close and we show him the dakka and we just dakka him down. This is what the Fletcher's really good at, just eliminating DDs and putting out that DPM, that firepower. As you can see, he's already at half health, less than half health, even more chunking, and can we finish him off? We're just going to keep firing blind here because we already know where he's at. We're just going to keep firing. Oh, he gets himself spotted again. Okay, and that's all she wrote. We're just going to keep firing that area. We know where he is. He can't have moved that much. We're just going to spread the fire out, and there we go. Okay, good. There we go. We got him. You know, it's a typical American tactic, you know? Just keep firing, and eventually some of it will stick. Alright, Turpitz is over there. Again, if you look at the line of sight, he actually cannot spot us, so we can open up him a little bit. Hey, it's not much damage. Only see if one shell hits, but that one shell could cause a fire. You really would, when you have a chance to shoot in the Fletcher, you take it. 100%. Especially when you're not spotted. Alright, now, Cleveland over there, we gotta be careful. Cleveland is very dangerous. Odin is torpedoable. Torpedoable? He's coming into torpedo range, what I'm trying to say. 9 kilometer torps, quite a long range. You've got a big reload though, but it's definitely worth using them. Again, we're just waiting for the good angle. We want to shoot in between those islands, I think. I think. Oh no, he's kind of going forward here. We're gonna fire some speculative torps. Well, they're aimed, but you don't expect too much of them. But we're gonna fire both sets here. We've got nothing else to torpedo. He does sail at range as soon as we fire them, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I don't think those are going to get any luck at all. In the meantime, though, opportunity to fire. As you look at our white line on the minimap, we are just out the firing range of the Cleveland, so he's actually unable to spot us. You see that? So there we go. We only got 2 salvos in, but it set a fire. And how effective is that? Every chance you get to shoot, you take it in the Fletcher, particularly when it's no risk to your ship. So yeah, playing cautiously but aggressively at the same time is really what you want to do in the Fletcher. Again, we can fire again here, but as you can see, we are tiptoeing very close to the Cleveland's detection. and from a firing range. So if we fire, detection will be spotted by the Fletcher. Now, we are briefly spotted by the Odin, but we should go dark very quickly. There we go. And that's perfectly fine. I don't think the Cleveland has enough turret traverse to turn around and shoot us in that short a window. In the meantime though, we're just peppering this Odin. Now, in terms of pains, we're not going to get many. Odin has 50mm deck, and superstructure is really not that big. Despite it being a German ship, I'm just going to do what we can to try and set another fire. Because honestly, a fire will do some sizable damage to him. Because he set a fire before, and I believe he damage controlled it. So there we go. We kind of give up on the fire a little bit, kind of funnily enough. We just want to finish him down now. We do set the fire to the final level. It's like I knew somehow, I swear to God. But we're just going to use the AP, and he's giving us flat broadside. Even if he's an Odin, we're still going to get some valuable pains. As you can see, it's actually racking up the damage, and it's really doing wonders for us here. He does damage control that fire. I was very surprised by that. He does take a shot at us. We're actually kiting away pretty comfortably. He does start angling, so we're going to keep the HE on. We kind of devoted this fight now. We got to keep at it. If we don't finish him now, he has a chance to heal up. He has a chance to disengage and become effective in the fight. So we're going to keep dacking him down. Again, using island cover here to try and mitigate our time being spotted. We did lose quite a lot of health with that Odin salvo here. Maybe a bit misplay, but I think it was worth it to get Odin off the board, because the fact that he is now spotted and we can shooting him from complete and utter stealth because of the excellent American shell arcs for the destroyers. Look how floaty the shells are. Great for shooting over islands. We do set that final fire, and the final fire does take him out of play. Also, we do secure our second solo cap of the game. So all that's left now is to get into the final A cap. We're up by 300 points, and we've got a one ship advantage. They have a Cleveland, and I'm not sure what battleship that is. I'll have to check at the right time. I don't know. And we've got two DDs. One's a Kagero, I know that, and the other is over at Charlie. Looks like those two battleships there are going to have a square off. It probably is a torps. I'm not sure. Anyway, only racked up 67,000 damage, which is pretty good. We've only landed like 2 torpedoes, and that's been on the destroyer. Most of it's been from your guns, really. So yeah, you definitely want to be using the guns. That's all the Fletcher is about, using these guns to its advantage. Realistically, in any open water gunboat fight, assuming there's no smoke or sonar, just a straight out fight, a Fletcher will win pretty much every engagement against any other DD except an Akazuki. An Akazuki will rip a Fletcher a new one, but yeah, you win against the Lightning. It will be a pretty engagement for you. You'll lose a lot of health, and the Lightning will probably die, or depending on the Lightning will probably lose. Tashkent the same. You'll probably lose. You probably win against the Tashkent, but again, it's not a trade you want to fight 1v1. A Lightning and Tashkent and an Akazuki are both you need to be careful with, even in a Fletcher. But everything else you'll just murder pretty comfortably. Yeah, it's a very good gunboat. But again, you'd be careful. Gunboats are very highly hinged on their health pool. That's why William Sims is a very good inspiration slot for this. Now, 700 points. We're capping our final objective here. Cleveland is chasing away our Kagero, which is perfectly fine. Cleveland and Kagero about the same speed, so they're not really going to catch up to each other right away. I'm just looking if they can get some torpedo angles, maybe take some attention off. He is coming towards to me because he sees someone's capping. He thinks the Kagero has slipped around him, got the better of him, and got around the cap. So that's why he's turning around here. Or he's just trying to contest the cap, which is always a good play. Cleveland is playing quite smart if you think about it. He's going after the caps, which is perfectly fine. But we're just going to run away. We don't need to fight the Cleveland. We're no need to win harder. You know what I mean? With that being said, sometimes when you are basically guaranteed to win, this feels like a guaranteed win here. We can be a little bit cheeky. We're not going to use a smoke again. There's no other DDs, so there's no real threat here. He's 11 kilometers away, 9 kilometers is his radar, so we can actually put a little bit of dakka down. And yeah, we give him a little bit more damage, a little bit of yeah, we're gonna lie here, farming damage a little bit. And we actually get a torpedo landing on one as well, which is a little bit fun. If we can get a perma-flood, perma-fire, that'd be always nice. Win the game a little bit faster, really. I thought the Kaggle would spotting him so we get more dakka, but again, oh no, we lose a Genizer now. Well, as long as the Kaggle lives, we should be alright, and the Cleveland is really far away from that Kaggle. Oh, Kaggle is shooting, that's not good. I'd rather the Cleveland shoot me than the Kaggle, so I open up as well. He can't shoot both of us at the same time. He has to shoot either the Kaggle or me, and I'd rather he shoot me. I've got a big health pool, I've got plenty distance from him as well, and I'm just in the edge of radar range as well, so it's better that I dodge and duke the salvos. At this point, because of the Kaggle is doing what he's doing, you have to be very careful. He's still shooting at him. It's basically we have to kill the Cleveland or we let the Kaggle die, and risk is there. So we're just going to duke, we're going to dive, we're going to dodge. At this range, Cleveland is very effective because the shell arcs are so floaty. He's landing a couple shots. Kaggle has been putting in some definite work here, and I'm pretty confident we can actually beat the Cleveland up at this range here. Again, Fletcher's received a lot of buffs. The Fletcher shell arc is actually better than the Cleveland's because of the numerous buffs that this thing has. So as you can see, we're actually doing some sizable damage to Cleveland along with the Kaggle assisting, and there we go, we do actually take him out. And yeah, getting risky there, but it's oh, it was a kid, it's not a Kaggle, it was a kid. Oh, that explains so much. Yeah, okay, I thought it was a Kaggle. I believe I thought in the game it was a Kaggle as well. That's something. Oh no, he's firing, you better help him out. But yeah, I'd actually, retrospect, if I knew that was a kid, I would have been more careful. You know, I would have let him take the damage because he's got the heals. But again, you never know. I thought it was a Kaggle. I saw K, like, I'm assuming it's a Kaggle. You don't really see many kids very often. But yeah. Anyway, that's a really good view of how to play the Fletcher, guys. 3.9k base with the kid, pulling out another 2.3. Not massive damage, but really showcasing how effective a DD can be if played correctly, and how effective the Fletcher is as a destroyer. Very strong destroyer, one of the best destroyers in the game actually. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, and tell us your thoughts below. What's the best tech tree destroyer in the game? Alright, without further ado, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye for now.